This video is another introduction to the Pythagorean theorem. So as you watch this, if you need more time to write down the notes that I have for you here, you can pause the video at any time and just copy these things down in your notes so that you have those for later reference. So the Pythagorean theorem, as was mentioned before, is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, a, b, and c are the lengths of the sides of the triangle. Remember, the Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. Okay, the Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. If you are needing a reminder on what a right triangle is, triangles are right triangles when they have a right angle. So for this triangle, the right angle is right here. This little corner on this edge of the triangle that makes a box right here shows you that this angle of the triangle is 90 degrees. So this is a right triangle. The Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. Now, there are some things that we need to know about the hypotenuse. Okay, the hypotenuse runs right underneath our hippopotenuse. So hippopotenuse is just a funny little cute word for the hippopotamus laying on top of the hypotenuse. But this is the hypotenuse. Okay, the hypotenuse is always the longest side. So out of side C, B, and A, the hypotenuse is always the longest of those three sides. The hypotenuse is always represented by the letter C. Okay, we always let the hypotenuse be represented by letter C. The hypotenuse is also always opposite of the right angle in the triangle. So here's the right angle, here's the 90-degree angle here, this angle here, and the side opposite of this angle is side C, the hypotenuse. When it comes to the legs, we have a little bit more freedom here. The legs are represented by A and B, and they are also interchangeable. So if I had labeled this differently, I could have labeled this A and I could have labeled this B. It doesn't matter which one goes where. Okay. C is always the hypotenuse, but the location of A and B can change. So let's look at this problem here. I always start by writing out the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'm looking at this triangle right here, and I notice that c is the unknown value. So we need to know what is the hypotenuse. We are given the leg measures 3 and 4. So you could say A is 3 and B is 4, or if you'd rather, you could say B is 3 and A is 4. So either way, you'll get the same answer. So let's plug it in the way we have it here. I've got an A that's equal to 4. I need to square that. I have a B that's equal to 3 that I will need to square. And this is equal to C squared. So from here, we have to follow the order of operations. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So parentheses first, then next is exponents. So we have to apply these exponents before we can add the numbers together. So 4 squared is 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 squared is 3. Times 3. 3 squared is 9. And this equals c squared. We are looking for c squared. So from here, what do? I need to combine the like terms over on the left side. 16 plus 9 makes 25. So from here, I'm not done. I need C to be by itself. I need to get rid of the square on the C. All right, so this next step is just a personal preference of mine. I like to put the variable over on the left. So these two equations here mean the exact same thing. 25 equals C squared is the exact same thing as C squared equals 25. So from here, algebraically, what I do to solve for C is I take the square root of both sides. In order to get rid of a square, in order to get the square to cancel, we have to take the square root. So once I take the square root of C squared, all that's left on this side is just C. So I have solved for C on the left. But I need to simplify the right-hand side. The square root of 25 is 5. So C equals 5 feet. All right, for this next one, I start by writing my formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I get to pick what I want to let A and what I want to let B equal. So I've let A be 5, I've let B be 6, and I'm looking for C. Okay, so 5 squared is 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 squared is 6 times 6. 6 squared is 36. Okay, now I need to add these two numbers together. 25 and 36. 6 and 5 make 11. 1 and 3 make 4, 5, 6, so 61 equals C squared. Okay, I'm just going to turn it around just because I like to have the variable on the left. So now I just need to take the square root of both sides to get the square to cancel. So my square root and the square cancel each other out. C equals the square root of 61. Now, the square root of 61 is approximately 7.810, and then there's more decimal places after that. I want you to notice that it says round to the nearest tenth. So the tenths place is where the 8 is. Okay, so to round to the tenths place, I look at the number next to the right of the place I'm trying to round to. It's a 1. So since it's not a 5 or higher, I don't change anything. This is going to stay C equals 7.8.